What are we trying to do?
Point slope.
Oh, man, we're catching on. Point slope. We have a point, we have slope. Okay? First step of this process is what, Stephen?
Label.
We have to label. So we're going to have a few things. I know nothing's there yet, but I know I'm going to have to label x1, y1, and n. Okay? So as soon as you label that, you're going to put something down. As soon as you have the labels, what do I want you to write before you start plugging stuff in? Point slope formula. Point slope formula is
x1 minus y1.
very close.
Or y1 minus x1. Or y minus y1 equals parentheses x minus x1.
There we go. So right away, I know that y isn't changing, or y1 and m will change. X isn't changing, and x1 will change. So right away, everyone should have this written down because you're going to start plugging everything in. So before I even write anything down, as soon as I put it down, you're going to plug everything in here. You're going to plug everything here, and it's going to be really easy. So x1 -4, -5 over 5 halves. So right away, I know -4 is x1, -5, and 5 halves. So I just need to make sure that I put the correct thing in the correct area. And when we were doing a lot of the plugging in, I saw a lot of people plugging in the correct stuff here, but putting it in the wrong area here. Make sure you're putting it in the right area. y1 -5, 5 halves, -4. What do we need to check for, Frankie? Got to check for double negatives. Emma, do we have any double negatives? Nope. Nowhere. So again, anytime you plug something in for a variable, like I'm saying that x1 is this plug. Okay, I'm sorry, plug. y1 is this. You got to check and see if there's two negatives back to back, right? And there's nothing in between. So you look at each parenthesis, okay? Is there a negative in the parenthesis and to the left of the parenthesis, right? So what does that turn into? If it's y minus a -5, what does that turn into? Y plus 5, okay? Is anything going to change, Randy, the slope, the 5 halves? No, it's going to be exactly the same. And then we have x plus 4 because it's a double negative there. Have we successfully converted this into slope intercept? I'm sorry, into point slope. So now we need to change it one more time. What are we going to change it to, Michael?
I'm going to change it to slope.
If you say it slower, I'll be right. PS stands for point slope. Convert point slope to...
The slope thing.
Slope thing is not the technical term, but it's called slope intercept.
That's what I said. I said intercept.
You said slope thing.
You said slope thing. You just said slope thing.
Alrighty. So what do we see in common here? Haley, what does point slope have in common with slope intercept? What's something they both have? They both have a y. They both have an x. They both have an equal. They both have something that looks like slope, right? Because we were told that this is what slope is, okay? So they have x, y, and slope, okay? What's different? Well, this one has a parenthesis. That one has a clear b for a y-intercept. So the first step in converting is distribute. So, what am I distributing? Yes, yes, yes. All right, so don't let this, so am I doing, is anything changing on the left side of the equation?
Not yet.
Nope. So I'm just going to go y plus 5 equals, okay? Now I'm going to change the right side. So I don't want you guys to overthink it. Brock, what's a billion times x? A billion x. So what's 5 halves times x?
5
Yeah. So don't overthink that, guys. Anything times x is just that x. Okay. So if it's a fraction, just leave it there. Don't worry. So what are we going to add to? We need to touch on multiplying fractions and variables. I'm sorry, and full numbers. Which I'm sure everyone forgot. Repeat after me. I, not loud enough. I will not
will not
cross multiply.
Cross
multiply.
I didn't hear everybody. I will not cross multiply.
cross multiply.
This is different. That's a proportion when there's an equal sign there. Okay. What's the first thing I need to do when I'm multiplying these? No. You have your hand up.
Turn it into not decimal fraction.
Turn it into a fraction. Okay. Well, now.
Multiply 5 times 4 and 3 times 1.
Very good. Okay. It's the top times the top, the bottom times the bottom. So the top is going to be 5 times 4. The bottom is 2 times 1, which becomes 20 over 2. Okay. So remember, the numbers on the top stay on the top. Okay. You're not changing it. Okay. Can we reduce this, Stephen?
Yes.
2.
5.
Close.
10.
We got 10. So it's plus 10. So again, just refresher. This is the thing most everyone's forgotten at this point. Is just making sure that we understand how to do the cross multiplication. Last step. There's one thing keeping this, Frankie, from looking like our slope-intercept. What is it?
No plus 5.
Yep, got to get rid of it. So we need to get y by itself. How do I get y by itself, Frankie?
Subtract 5.
Yep. Can I subtract 5 out of 5 over 2x?
Are you talking to me?
Anybody?
Wait, what was
Can I subtract 5 out of 5 over 2x? No, that's a variable. It doesn't work that way. Y equals 5 halves. Hey, that's slope. Plus 5. We've converted it from point slope to slope intercept. 2 easy steps. Distribute, which the hardest thing is just multiplying fractions, and then bringing in, getting the y completely by itself.
So we're doing a problem, which makes it another problem, which then you solve that problem to get.
Oh, wait till the next thing. It's all stuff you know.
I don't remember.
Yes, we are creating the problem to solve the problem that we already had the problem with.
I don't remember doing this lecture.
Probably one of the equation, man. That's probably why you're still here.
Not why I'm still here. He's calling on me, but Frankie's in this class here.
Let's look at go on YouTube.
And we were in the same class together.
Hey, I'm still in this class. I had it last year.
There's a difference in the teacher.
Oh.
I don't think you have a choice, Mr. Branch. I mean, he did have a choice.
Yeah, I chose what I'm teaching.
I have a question real quick.
Does it pertain to this?
Kind of?
Hold it.
Hold it.
We'll talk about it later. Randy, what's different about what I have here? Again, it's not, I haven't put the numbers in, but what's different about this?
You don't have slope.
I don't have slope. So the instructions are going to say, give me the slope-intercept of an equation, which is y equals mx plus b, of the line that goes through these 2 points. Okay. So the thing is, you have to create the slope-intercept with different kinds of information. The information that you have now are just 2 dots. Now, could you put it on graphing paper, put the 2 dots, graph the line, then calculate the slope of the line? Yeah, you can do all that, but you have to understand what to do without the graph. Okay. So in order to get from 2 points to a slope-intercept, what's the first step here? What do we have? Because here's the order. we have to convert this somehow to put into point slope, to put into slope intercept, because we can't go straight from here to here. Okay? So Brady, if we have 2 points, what can we do with that?
Count the slope.
We don't have a graph.
Like do y2 minus y1, whatever that is.
It's a thing called slope formula. What do we need right now? Well, we need slope. Okay? We don't have slope. Okay? We have 2 points. So what we can do is use our 2 points to give us our slope, and then we can take 1 point in the slope to put into slope intercept. Point slope. Then we take point slope to put into slope intercept. All sorts of fun stuff. It's a big giant party over here. Excellent.
Yay, tons of equations to get back to simple.
Mm-hmm. This will get you in the Christmas spirit. So now I have everything labeled. Again, I'm not writing any of the numbers. This is the mind process you should have even when you're looking at the numbers. I'm setting everything up, making sure that I'm ready, and then moving on to the next step. So now if we put our numbers in, 4, 3, -1, 2, I have everything labeled. I know my first one is x1, y1, x2, y2. Plug it in. 4, 3, -1, 2. And on the last assessment, I saw a lot of people put this in exactly the right way, plug them in the wrong area. Make sure, and that's why I suggest to put the equation up here and here, so you can look and see both. y2 is 2, y1 is 3, x2 -1, x1 4. Anytime I plug stuff in, Saran, what do I need to check for?
Double negative.
Do I have double negatives here?
No.
Sure don't. It's just 2 minus 3 divided by -1 minus 4. Nothing changes. There's nothing to the left of this. There's nothing to the left of this. Okay, I'm just going to drop all in parentheses and bring it down. A lot of people miss 2 minus 3. A lot of people either put +1 or they put 5. Okay, or -5. Make sure you're thinking in terms of money you're losing or gaining. If you have $2 and you're at the casino and you lose $3, you are down $1. And then this would be -5. No, can I reduce -1 divided by -5?
1/5.
Has to be positive. Anytime I get a double negative, I can't change the numbers, but I have to change that. So now I have everything I need for point slope. Okay, I have my slope. Which point should I use? Steven?
X1. Wait, what? What was the question?
What point should I only need 1 point for point slope. It's not 2 point slope. It's point slope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which one do I need?
Can I just choose one?
Yeah, honestly, it really doesn't matter. But since we already labeled this x1 and y1, why don't we just keep it the same way?
Yeah.
So it's going to go through this point, but now we know the slope of the line. So what do? x1, y1. First step is what, Suran?
So the
First point slope formula.
oh, we gotta follow the equation.
Before that,
Numbers and then put them.
label. Yes, and then the equation. 4, 3, 1/5. Now we write it out. Michael, remind me what the equation is again? Or the formula?
Y minus Y equals Y1.
Y1.
Equals M parentheses X minus X1.
Boom. Y minus equals.
How'd you get -5?
Where?
Down by there.
Here?
Yeah.
If I've lost $1 and then I lose $4 more, I have lost $5.
Oh yeah, because the subtraction sign.
-1 minus 4.
Yeah.
3, 1/5, 4. Haley, what do I need to check for? Do I have any? No double negatives. This is just y minus 3 equals 1/5 x minus 4. We've converted it to point slope formula. But we're not done. What do we got to do?
Put it in slope intercept.
Yep, it needs to be in slope intercept. Okay. So what's step 1 in slope intercept? Or converting from point slope to slope intercept. I've got to distribute. What's anything times x?
It's self and x.
Yep, 1/5 x. Okay, this one's a little different. Okay, so now I have to 1/5 times -4. Keep in mind that that negative part needs to be a part of the multiplication problem here. I convert it to a fraction. I go straight across. -4 divided by 5 minus 4/5. Can you get fractions here? Is it possible?
No.
Why not?
Wait,
Well, I just did. So, yes, it is possible. So we can get fractions here. It's okay. It is going to make the next step a little trickier. Free, what's my last step here of converting point slope to slope intercept?
Moving the -3 to the other side.
+3. Okay, now this one's a little different. Canceling out 1/5 x. Okay, so now I have to figure out -4/5 plus 3. Who remembers how to add or subtract fractions? What you got?
Don't you have to put 3 in a fraction?
Make the 3 a fraction.
And then don't you flip it and multiply?
Ooh, we're not doing the reciprocal.
Would you do like the butterfly thing?
Yes.
Oh.
Don't you just like add it left to right?
Well, you do, but we need something. We need to do something first. We can't add fractions, add or subtract fractions, unless they have the same denominator. We need this 1 to be a 5. We can't change the 5 to a 1. That would get really ugly. So we need to make the 1 5. How do I do that?
Don't you multiply it by 5?
Multiply both by 5. What would that turn into?
15/15.
So do we understand that 15/5 is 3? 5 goes into 15 3 times. It's the same thing. I've just changed the fraction. So now here's another thing you want to do. Here's a way to make this look a little bit easier.
Wow.
I flipped it because when I do this, I like the positive fraction being in the front. Okay? So all I did was take this positive number, put it in the front, take this negative, put it in the back. So now it's 15 minus 4. So now we're not, negatives in the front. A negative number plus a positive number gets confusing. Either way, it's the same thing. So you have to find out what it equals. So now, does the denominator change when you add or subtract the fractions?
No.
Has to stay the same. So the bottom number is 5, no matter what. Okay? So now, what's 15 minus 4? So that looks a little bit easier than -4 plus 15, right? But either way, you get 11. Okay? I just like looking at it this way because it makes more sense in my head. So now that's a positive 11/5. Can we get a fraction for our y-intercept? You can. It's not. The line's not always perfectly going to go through the y-axis, is it? So you can get that, which we wouldn't ask you to graph this, but when we're converting point slope to slope intercept, sometimes we would.